This week on the podcast, Carrie and I are catching up on all the Disney news, and I'm learning what Tron really is. I can't believe I didn't know that. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. Hi, I'm Francine.
And I'm Carrie.
We're two best friends who can't stop talking, usually about Disney stuff.
Sometimes we have fascinating guests, and sometimes it's just us. But it's always positive and fun.
We're happy to have you join our chat. Thanks for listening, and let's get started. Hi, Carrie.
Hello, Fran.
Hi. It's just the two of us this week.
Just the two of us. What's the next word? We can make it if we try. Yeah.
Everybody's turned out now. They're like, I don't want to listen to this. We won't sing anymore. We promise.
Promises.
How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Good.
All right.
Good.
How about you?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm all right. Things have gotten so busy. I'm going to ask at the top of the podcast this week. Remember,
right. Oh,
remind me?
Yep. I didn't remind you. Sorry. Reminder: ask at the top of the podcast.
So I'm going to ask at the top of the podcast if anybody knows a budget-friendly podcast editor. So desperately need someone that can just edit show notes, pretty much put together some pictures. That's it. I know it doesn't take a lot of time. So for me, it maybe takes a couple hours a week, but those couple hours I'm struggling with. So if anybody knows anyone, please send me a message and let me know. Yeah, that would be helpful. Please. Yes, because that we don't have sponsors, we don't have paid ads, we don't have anything. So this podcast actually costs us money to produce. So that's why I'm saying a budget-friendly one. So that would be helpful if you know anybody. Thank you. And don't forget, we're just starting to collect. People are sending us like their favorite thing that they heard on the podcast or favorite episode or things like that. We've got a couple of people sent stuff in already. So if you have a favorite clip, send us a voice clip. So if you want to hear yourself on the podcast, send us a little voice clip and we'll play it on an episode in the future. So that would be great.
Fun.
Yeah. Then it's not just you and I talking.
Yep.
So, Carrie, what's shaking? We have not done a newsworthy podcast. I don't like to call them newsworthy because they're not really.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say then.
What would you call them?
What's happening at the Disney parks?
There you go. What's happening in our opinions from Yeah. So we haven't done one of those in a while, and we thought this was a good time to do one, just to get caught up on all the stuff that's going on, because
there's lots of stuff happening.
Yeah, we've kind of been neglectful on sharing some of that stuff. So I think it's a good time to do it. We have opinions. Okay. So what do you want to talk about first, Carrie?
Well, the biggest thing probably is all the hype around Tron. I think like that's probably what's taken up
all the news cycles
in this month.
So what do you think of it? Like, are you excited about it? How do you feel about, have you seen the things about the people are having trouble getting like fitting?
No, I haven't. No. I'm kind of like at a certain point when like it's imminent that we're going to get to ride it, hopefully sooner than later. Like that's when I kind of like put the blinders on because I want to be spoiler free. So I'm like, before when they were announcing the opening date, they did all kinds of fun social media things, right? Where they were hiding like Easter eggs in like they had a screen from the video game and they had Easter eggs and all of the dates and all that stuff. And there was a lot of fun stuff then. Probably like not long after that, when I was like, oh, it's happening soon, that's when the blinders went on. So like I see the Tron stuff flying by and I hear people chitter chatter about it, but I'm afraid to click through.
Because you just don't want to know anything.
No.
Okay, so help me. Isn't Tron one of the superheroes?
Tron. What? No.
Isn't he like one of the Avenger type people? No.
Oh my goodness,
You're
Fran, you
looking
might
at
want
me.
Fran, edit that out. Is that how Stan does it? Fran, edit that out. From the 80s, the movie Tron with Bridges. Remember he goes into the video game and he's in the white suit and he gets on the Tron.
I never saw it.
But how are you our age and not know what Tron is? Whether you've seen it or not.
I never saw it. I like honest Tron, to like God, I thought Tron was like one of the superhero dudes.
Like they go into the video game and like they're like their video game thingies and they're like, oh, there's so neon. There's like they got neon lines all over them and they're kind of glow in the dark and they're on these like Tron motorbikes and he's in the video game and he's got to, either get out of the video game or win the video game in order to get out of the video game or whatever. Again, I've seen it recently, and I've seen the new Tron, which because they made a sequel of the Tron. But yeah, it's Tron. That's seriously
what it is. Okay, so
that's why the light cycles are the light. That's what they in the video game that Tron.
Yeah, but it totally makes sense. Like if you had never seen the movie before, it totally makes sense that it could be a superhero person.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. I'm just teasing, yeah, but it isn't.
But it isn't. Which, yeah. Okay.
This is what you have to put on you. Like, I want you to watch Tron because it's one of those things that's like.
Is it like Stand By Me or something? I'm gonna be like, bleh. Like
Stand By Me is awesome, but
I knew you were. Yes,
but Tron is But yeah, I think you should watch it.
Really? No,
yeah.
I've never seen this movie. Never.
Wow.
I didn't realize it was a movie. Like I, honest to God, thought it was one of the superhero thingies. So, like this. Well, how I feel about Tron is how I feel about some of the other things that come out, like the superhero thingies as they emerge and whatever. I'm just as lost in those as I am with this. I just figured it was a ride. And so how come all the young kids like it then, if it was a movie from back in our day?
Well, this is the thing, like I don't know that,
like, do they all know about it?
No, I bet you not. I think that
it's their parents dragging them.
No, I think it's a roller coaster or whatever type of ride, because I think that movie is definitely, like most people, it wouldn't be their favorite movie. Most people probably haven't seen it. Like,
so then why?
And I don't think the remake.
Tron?
I don't think the remake was very popular either. Like, I think it's definitely got its own like fandom, and a lot of that would be like kids that grew up during that time and remember like nostalgia or like the movie back then. Like I think there's definitely that's who likes the movie. But they made the ride in Shanghai and it's really like they make a really cool ride from the ideas from the movie. Like, all like that ride is beautiful. Like look how it glows at night with the colors and the neon things and whatever. Like it makes one heck of a nice looking ride. Like I don't know what it's going to be like riding it, but it definitely is beautiful and impressive.
I'm going to need people to like message me and tell me if they knew what Tron was. I honest to goodness thought it was like some superhero thing. So
I only assumed that you would know it because of our age. Like, and I didn't think you were going to say you loved it or it was your favorite or you remembered it, but I thought you would know it because it's sort of when we were.
Well, I guess it never occurred to me that they would build something from back then because they're so focused on all the new movies and stuff like that. It never occurred to me that they would build something that was like old.
It doesn't look old. Well, that's the thing. Like if you watch the
like
old
futuristic,
like think about like. Well, yes, and I think
gosh.
if you watch like some of the Disney Plus series stuff when they've talked about Tron, like the original one, like what they had to do to make it back then was, like
I've never seen any of that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to retitle this episode of A Lesson in Tron.
Well, no, you better not, because we're definitely not schooling anybody. Considering I can't really explain the movie either. So
wow.
Yeah, we'll see. You should do a poll on Pixie Dust Fan about Tron. Have you heard it?
Like, do you know what it is?
Just people say yes or no. Like, The original Tron. Love it. No thanks. Tron what?
I
See
might
what
have
people
to,
say.
because I can't be the only one who didn't know that this was like an old movie. So
You
anyway,
thought it was maybe like Thor?
yeah, like
Space Thor.
it's not, well, yeah, like some futuristic kind of like superhero, I guess.
Anyways, there's a
So
ride coming
the
and it
ride,
looks pretty sweet.
it does. It looks awesome.
And this and people and the seats are is the seats like Flight of Passage? Because it
So
would
it looks
sort of
like it,
seem the
right?
same, or you would
Remember you and
assume.
I tried them. Remember they had those two like things, and it was like a photo op outside, but they didn't have the braces that go around you. So it's kind of like a motorbike that you lean on. So you straddle it and you lean on, but things come around you to hold you in place because you're up flying around on the beams thing. So
The light cycle or whatever it is.
but it's kind of like Flight of Passage, but I'm hearing that it's a bit different in like who can fit and who can't.
Because like Flight of Passage, they put the braces come up on you, but you're really just on a platform that kind of bevels a little bit or whatever,
Right.
goes up and down. Like the other ones are like you're projected around the track.
Exactly.
So it must be a little bit more hugging and squeezing.
I think so. And I think like people like my size were having trouble. It's the same thing where it's based on your body shape and things like that. But I did hear, and I don't know if this is true, so don't quote me, but I think they have seats, like regular seats for people who don't fit on the bike. That's what
like
I heard.
Different type
I should
of
have researched that before we started this podcast. But I did hear something like that, which would be great. But I hear like then the line would, because if they only have a couple of them, like the line for those, and I don't know. I always have issues with rides where you have to be a certain size, because I mean, I just hope that the test vehicle is not like out in the open, but not out in the open. Do you know what I mean? Like I want people to be able to see it so they know they should try it before they wait in line, but not out in the open that everybody can see you trying it and not fitting. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah. So unlike, what was the one that just opened, Guardians?
Yeah.
Unlike Guardians, I spoiled it for myself because we talked about it with Guardians. I did not watch a ride through, and I think that's what made me sick. I should have watched it so I knew how to kind of prepare myself. So I watched a ride through of this one.
So
and I probably didn't need to.
what's your reaction? Like, do you think you'll be okay?
I think I'll be okay to do it once. I don't know if it's something I'm going to do multiple times. If I fit, I think I'll do it. I'll do it once to experience. I was a bit surprised at how long it was. Like I figured, as they got to push more people through these attractions, I figured they'd make it shorter. But I think it was a pretty good length. Like the video I watched the ride through, I think it was almost 3 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So obviously the ride's not 3 minutes, but it was pretty long. I was watching going, oh my gosh. And I'm sure it's so much cooler when you're on it. But I think I can do it. I think I can do it. I don't think it's not spoiler alert, it's not a backwards launch. Obviously, you're on a bicycle, so you're going forward. But yeah, I think I can do it.
And do you think when do you think you're going to ride it? Like the thing with you going down at different times is that if you ride it and you're like never doing it again, then I never get to ride it with you.
Kind of like Guardians, I know.
To experience you saying you're never going to do it
again. Exactly. So we're going to have to find a time when we're both down there. Maybe we'll have to find like a little quick weekend trip or something, Carrie, to go down and experience it.
And we'll just be trying to get that virtual queue or whatever it'll be.
Wouldn't that be horrible if we went all the way down there for a weekend and we couldn't get on it?
We couldn't buy a lightning lane or get a virtual queue.
Well, yeah. Because I'm going to be in Walt Disney World before you, I think. So, not that I have anything booked, but I'm trying to book something.
Desperately trying
to juggle the unmagical job and figure out when I can get there. But it would be fun to do it together. Yeah.
Maybe it'll be both our first and last time.
It could be. It could be. Yeah. And I wonder if that was any consideration. So Tron is like for people our age. Do you think maybe they made it a little tamer because they knew people our age would be riding
I
it?
doubt it, because I think it's the same ride it's the exact same ride as in Shanghai. So
Interesting.
I think I think it's good that they have a variety of thrilling rides, right? Like not everything's just like a crazy coaster, right? So you've got Guardians is its own type of coastery thing on its own. Like you can't even explain.
Like it's not all rock and roller coaster where it's 0 to 100.
You know, Tower of Terror and then that ride, and you know, there's lots of different
varying degrees
of thrill ride attractions at Walt Disney World, which is good.
Yes.
So hopefully Tron is one that we could do.
I hope so. Okay. I hope so. We'll see. But I'm hearing great things. Like everybody seems to love it that's been on it. So
and it makes Tomorrowland look really, really cool.
It does. It does. It actually adds a little extra tomorrow to Tomorrowland. I kind of want to be there to walk around and just like on the ground feel how it fits in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't think the pictures really
up at the canopy.
Yeah,
seeing it all glowy. I think that ride is going to be just as beautiful as like, you know, there's certain things we see there.
Like over by Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, that entire theming there is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like even how like Tower of Terror glows when they light it up, like it just has something that looks like unbelievable to your eyes, like because I think that's what it looks like there, or I hope it looks like. You just see it and it's just like, wow, you can't believe that they've made something like look cool but look kind of pretty and too.
Awesome. All right, so there I've got my schooling in Tron.
Yeah, not very good schooling. Just I want you to watch it though. Watch the old one.
I'll have to I'll have to take a look. So what else has been happening? Have you seen all the 100 merch, Carrie?
Oh my goodness. We were excited about the 50th merch. Now this is the thing that I was talking to some Disney friends and we were talking about the 100 merch. And then we were kind of like smack talking the 50th merch. And then we were laughing because it's sort of like, well, you know, we were very excited when that 50th merch first came out.
We were like, oh my gosh, the iridescence and the blue and oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It couldn't be more beautiful. Go back and listen to our podcast, Carrie.
Knocked it out of the park, Disney. Good job. Finally, it's the best merch ever. And now we're kind of like, oh, that 100. Oh, that platinum and purple. Ooh, beautiful.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Like the merch, well, and I think I don't know, like is the merch for the 100th going to be like the 50th where it just keeps coming? Was the 50th merch delays and continuous you know, inventory releases because of like, you know, COVID and things coming a little bit late, right? And then they were like, hey, this is working, let's just keep you know, what, or
I wonder if they'll follow the same kind of limited
will it be
release.
The same thing where there'll be stuff all year long or whatever for this 100 stuff?
I don't know, but if there's a mug, I'll buy it right as soon as I see it.
Oh, there's a good mug. I saw
honestly the mug. Like that blue mug from the 50th, it's escaped me all year, and now I'm kind of like, if I see it, I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, I was trying to get it. I was trying for so long. Yeah. But now, I don't know. Do I need a 100th mug? Probably not. I probably don't need another mug. But Carrie, there's so many good things. That's another reason I want to get there now is I want to go shopping. But the problem is I'm going to show up and there's going to be all the hoodies are going to be small and extra small.
Yeah, that's already happened. Like when I was there at the end of January is when the merch was just coming out at Walt Disney World. So they didn't have loads of it, but they had enough like to have like little areas with stuff. And it was like deja vu when we were there for the 50th, sort of the same thing. We were there like the 50th was October 1st and we were there for your birthday. And remember we were like in Disney Springs and like we swear we saw like hoodies like flying over our heads. You know, like people throwing stuff to each other. There's one more Ansel pump over here. Go along. And they were like throwing like, and we just saw stuff flying off the shelves. It was kind of the same thing. Like it was kind of
which is so disappointing.
And
because there's so much merch that we would buy if we saw it right away. But then it's almost like after a while you get so frustrated with it. Then when you see it, you're like, forget it. I'm not buying it.
well, and you kind of wonder, like, if is it like with the 50th stuff, like we saw stuff we liked and then there's no sizes, or like on day one, if you saw something but you waited to day three, by the time, not knowing on day one it was fairly new, by day three there was only extra smalls and smalls. So but with the 50th, like some stuff stuck around maybe close to the whole time, but not really. Like there was hoodie after hoodie after hoodie. Like when they kind of got over it, then there was a new hoodie, or it seems like, or a new jersey or whatever, or like they spaced it all out. And I don't know if the stuff that we loved at the very beginning is still there now, or if more stuff came along. But it was in that case, when it's not like these 50 things that are going to be around for a week or for a year, and it's going to be stuff all along, like you really still have to be there at the right time to grab it, because you're there when the next hoodie comes out. There's still only going to be smalls and extra smalls, because Disney people love merch. Like that's the crazy part of it.
But then why don't they make more of the bigger sizes? Like it doesn't, like you and I know that small and extra small are all that's left. What is wrong with their marketing and their ordering and their supply chain people that they don't know?
I don't know.
Bigger sizes.
But you know what? If they made more of the bigger sizes, they probably still would be gone, because like it's still about being there at the right time to get a lot of the stuff. I guess you can, like in Canada, we can't really do the Shop Disney unless we want to pay like triple for everything.
In
the US, I guess you can order whatever you want online if you can. But yeah, like it'll be interesting to see for the 100, like if it's gonna keep, more stuff as the time goes on, or if they're just gonna have a line of like this number of items. Because I think like when they did like the Disneyland 60th, like I wonder if they, like I would think it might have been more like that, like there's all this stuff, we're gonna fill a store to say this is the anniversary merch and that's it, right? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because if there's more and more and more, we're just gonna go bananas. Like there's everything, like the regular stuff, but then everything. And then we've been seeing Funko Pops, like anniversary Funko Pops, which are like ridiculous.
All these Funko Pops, they are beautiful. All the Walt ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
When you go to like Hallmark, they have a line of 100 stuff. Like there's 100 stuff. Like the Funko is a good example, but like even even like going somewhere like Hallmark, they have a whole line of 100-year stuff there. Like it's just coming at us from everywhere.
Now and Oswald. So Oswald, it's only fitting that Oswald is so front and center for the 100th.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Like Oswald is probably one of my favorite stories from like Walt Disney, because I feel like it's the story of no matter what happens, you just keep going. You don't know what's around the corner. Something better could come along. And he was so devastated when he lost Oswald. Like that could have been the end of the company. That could have been the end of everything. And then he made Mickey. Like, and when you look back on it now, wow. Yeah, like imagine if he'd just given up when he lost Oswald, and what if he'd just given up?
What hoodies would be we wearing right now?
Exactly. How would I have decorated my house? Like what on earth? So I think that's probably why I love Oswald so much. And to see Oswald on so much merchandise, like Carrie, it's insane. I saw, and I don't know if they're selling it in the parks or if it's just a collector, but I saw a collector post. He has an Oswald, what do they call them? Diffuser. You know those diffusers that spit out like the scents that you can get the scent, like an Oswald one. Like
probably since he's going to have 100-year collection too.
Right?
Yeah.
All the Oswald stuff is killing me. Like I need it all of it. So yeah, I need to get there.
It's gonna be an expensive year.
Yeah.
Like everything it really is funny. Like when you just look at all the merch, how bananas we go over it, and it's just like it's just as bananas as when the 50th stuff came out. But now it's like that's just a past. It's just a memory.
Oh yeah. Now we're all about this. So what's going to happen? April 1st, everything's going to be out, and like the 50th will be gone, and boom, now it's 100.
Yeah, I guess. I want to know what's going to happen to all this 50th merch. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Like, when I was there last time, like, there's a few things I really, really want, but I'm like, it's
Yeah.
not that far off. Like, and
It'll all be on sale, I'm
it'll be
sure.
at the outlet, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
And I think, well, do I want to pay $20 for that now? Like, that's a thing. It's whether you love something or not that you would buy. Like, how much do you love it that you have to buy it no matter what when you first see it
When it's
versus
regular price.
So I've got a
Yes.
number of things that are 50th that are like, I really, really want that, but I obviously don't want it enough that I haven't just been like, yep, you're coming home. It's like,
Yeah.
let's see what happens after the 50th. Like, because there's lots of stuff. Like, there is like, maybe they'll keep it for another month or so for the people that are missed, like, people that haven't been yet, like, they might want 50th merch. So I expect they might keep some of it around for a little bit, maybe, if there's room.
Maybe. I have a bunch of stuff too. Like, when I think about it, stuff that I like it. I didn't want to pay full price for it, but if it was on sale, yeah, I'd be buying another suitcase. Yeah.
And some of the stuff, like when I was there, I was like kind of ranting a little bit to my mom. Like, I was showing her examples of like certain pricing, how like pricing is just weird. Like they'll have something that, like the kitchenware, right? Like they'll have like a big, like, or whatever. They'll have something small and it'll be like $35, and you're like, wow, $35 for like these measuring cups or whatever, like ceramic measuring cups. And then right beside it, there's like a tray with this and that, like different features on it, like something, like a tray that you would either use to transport drinks or you'd have it on display or whatever. And it costs like $5 more. And I was like, none of this stuff, like, and some stuff things aren't priced, bargain basement really at all. But you see some of those things where something costs so much for what it is. And then you look at something that you think has way more like value, like in use or whatever, and it costs the same. So like that comes into play too, sense. Right? It doesn't make sense. And there's lots of stuff that you want, especially as I'm trying not to make a noise, but I gotta grease up my arm here on my mic. I guess it's squeaky. Sorry, everybody. Fran, cut that out.
If you're a Disney fan, then you should listen to Carrie and Fran. They laugh and chat and help you make a plan. If you're going to Walt Disney World or Disneyland, and you will become a Pixie Dust fan.
But that's a big reason as to why we don't buy things too, because with our exchange rate and the price on certain things, we just can't.
We paid 25% more.
Mm-hmm.
Or more with our exchange rate. And then we got to get it home. And so we have to be selective about what we're buying.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a little bit of a rant. Sorry about that.
Oh, but then here, who's the one that said to me, Fran, we're going to be talking 5 minutes about merch and then the podcast will be over. Hello, people are like, oh my gosh, are they ever going to shut up?
Will they ever be quiet?
So we talked about merch. We talked about Tron. In terms of like important things to me, Trails End is closing, Carrie.
Oh, no more fried chicken buffet.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad about this. So Trails End is the buffet that is over at Fort Wilderness. And we've enjoyed many meals there. And it was always a good meal, breakfast or dinner.
And it was
always a good meal.
And it was a fairly reasonably priced meal too.
Yeah, and
compared to other options that are
exactly
that are buffet or
that
whatever.
Are close to the Magic Kingdom and are buffet. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm kind of sad. So they're changing it. They're closing it and making it a quick service. So I'm wondering, will it be the same kind of food? Like, are you going to get fried chicken and gravy? Don't know.
Let's hope so.
I hope so. We'll have to check it out. But yeah, so that was kind of a sad one.
Well, the food is sort of the same as the Hoop-Dee-Doo review, right? Like, sort of, right? Like ribs and chicken and mashed potatoes and stuff. Like, generally,
I haven't been
like
to the Hoop-Dee-Doo since I was like 12.
You need to go.
I need to go. I need to go because I don't remember what food they have there.
Pretty much what they eat at Trails End.
Okay, so then if I want that food again, I just have to go to the Hoop-Dee-Doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
And Carrie, was there anything else Disney related news you wanted to talk about?
Well, how long have we talked for? Or, like, that
A
could
long
determine
time.
if there is. Well, then no, we're done.
No, we talked. I know, because we're very aware that we don't want to be babbling.
And we want to have some. We know we always have long episodes, usually close to an hour, and we always want to like have every so often just a short one, because maybe the people that don't like the long ones and don't listen, if there's a long one, they'll be like, hallelujah.
Right.
There's a short one that we can listen to.
Okay, that's it. So Disney news, that was the big ones we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Was there one other? No, there was something else you wanted to talk about. What was it?
I was going to talk about the Disney 100 exhibit that opened up.
Oh,
yesterday,
right. Yeah. I wanted to hear about that.
Well, I don't really know too much other than I was watching a YouTube video, but when we were at D23, they had bits and pieces of the exhibit there, and so the exhibit opened yesterday. It's in Philadelphia. It's supposed to tour. I don't know where else it's going to tour in North America, because when I look on the site, like, it's got European, like London and Munich or something. But it looks like I didn't go spoiler free because I don't know that I'm going to get to Philadelphia, and I really don't think it's going to come.
You're not going to Philadelphia?
Toronto.
It might come to Toronto, maybe.
I don't think so. So, anyways, it looks really neat, like a huge exhibit talking about the company. But the one thing that was most impressive is that, I guess, when you first go into the exhibit, they have like a screen and Walt Disney standing there, and he's talking to you, like he's talking like real, like he's talking, like, you know how they do that, they get they may, so yeah, that would be,
oh my gosh, I'd be bawling.
Yeah, that's a goosebumpy experience, I'm sure. Yeah.
Wow.
And the exhibit looked like, again, it was just showing bits and pieces, but the exhibit looks really awesome. So if anybody's near Philadelphia, or maybe I'll do a little bit more research, and I might have to have a road trip to Philadelphia. I've been to Philadelphia before. It's
how long did it take you to drive?
I don't remember.
They have flights to Philadelphia, Carrie.
I always love a road trip, though. There's so many things you can see and do on the way. But anyways, okay, we could do a flight to Philadelphia. But yeah, maybe it'll be worthy of a road trip once they. It'd be interesting to see if they're going to do other North American cities, like where it's going to go to.
Right.
But yeah, it looks pretty cool.
You could do a road trip in a Winnebago. And
Fran, they have merch too.
So we then we can bring the merch back in the Winnebago.
We might need a merch, a Winnebago for the 100th merch. Generally,
wouldn't that be fun?
You have to drive to Walt Disney World and bring put a trailer hitch and pull a little trailer, like, those things that you.
Oh my gosh, Carrie, I was even thinking about driving down to Walt Disney World myself, because the flight prices are crazy, and I just need to get there. And I'm it's still not off the table. I'm debating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And if you know Fran, if you've listened to other episodes about talking about road trips, wow.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
That's I'm in a desperate situation when I'm like, I might just have to jump in the car and go. Wow. Yeah. But I'd have to get
if you drive, I could drive
first.
Down with you. We could go. I could drive down with you, so you have company. We could go do some Tron, like maybe do it on a Friday. We'll do some Tron on the Saturday and Sunday, or not do Tron if we can't get a virtual queue or lightning lane. And then I'll just fly home. I'll leave you there, but like, bye.
See ya.
Because really, you need to get away and you want to get away and have a break. You'd be like, get out of here, kid. You were invited for the drive, and that's it. Go home. I need some time.
Oh my gosh, you're too funny.
That's not a bad plan. Yeah, not a bad plan.
Yeah, not a bad plan.
And you could convince someone. You just get someone to fly down and drive home with you. That makes driving not so bad. Then you have a driver. You got to make sure that they're okay with driving. You don't want to invite somebody down if you're gonna have to drive the whole way.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
That might put some more points on the maybe I should drive. You're like,
there you go. I'm like, I don't know.
I just want to listen to my audiobooks the whole way down.
Yeah, I know. I have so many audiobooks on my anyway. Sidebar. See, Carrie, this is how we go too long. The other thing we were going to talk about briefly was the whole Super Mario World.
Oh,
in Hollywood.
That's the wrong park, but
I know, but when we talk about things from the 80s and our generations and things like that, like, I don't know, Carrie, it's Super Mario, man.
It looks awesome.
Super Mario. I can't tell you how many hours of my life were devoted to Super Mario. Andrew and I would play them for like a whole weekend. Like if we put down our controllers to eat, it was a big deal. Like we were 100% dedicated to beating every Super Mario game. I was usually Mario. He was usually Luigi. And Luigi. And like I loved it. And to see it life size and to walk into the game. Oh my gosh.
And to go to the Toadstool Cafe. I think that's what it's called. Their their restaurant. And all the food's got cute little Mario accoutrements.
See, it would be so fun. It would be.
But we have to go to California to see that because it's not like that Epic Universe in Orlando's still a few years away.
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe
but
you and Andrew
cool.
should go to California.
Oh my gosh, I can't even get him to go to Florida to see flipping Star Wars yet.
That's true.
I need to just get him and my nephews to just go to Galaxy's Edge. Like they would be over the moon to see it in person. I know they would. I just need to get them there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a whole other issue. Okay, that was it, Carrie. That was the news.
No more. We're done.
The news with Gary Gnu.
No news is good news.
Okay, Carrie, we're at the time of the podcast. Pixie Dust. What brought you Pixie Dust this week?
Well, my Pixie Dust, again, had this, it was awesome when the Pixie Dust just hits you right in the face.
That's always good. As long as it doesn't hit too hard.
So today when we're recording is Family Day in Canada, which is, I guess, President's Day in the United States.
Right.
And maybe Tuesday?
It was Tuesday.
Wednesday?
It was Tuesday when
I realized that it was Family Day on Monday, and I had no idea. It wasn't on my mind. I experienced pure euphoria when that dawned on me that it was Tuesday. I had to get to Friday, and Monday was a holiday. Like I was so excited. I was just. It was just like it was the same level of any type of excitement. Like it was.
Yeah, you've discovered there was a long weekend coming, and you didn't know it.
They're making a Muppets Haunted Mansion. Pure, joy. On Tuesday, realizing the next Monday, exact same level of joy. Like that's why I think it's so funny, and that's why my Pixie Dust like legit. That's how much joy I had.
You were so excited when you sent me that note, and you're like, "Fred, did you know it's Family Day?" And I'm thinking, "Yeah, I'm counting the hours." I knew, but you had no idea.
I didn't know. Like I don't know. Maybe I thought it was March and it passed. Like I don't know why it wasn't on my radar at all. But
that's a nice surprise.
Surprise.
Nice surprise.
So now it's Family Day and it's almost over.
Did you make the most of the long weekend? Did you get the stuff done you wanted to do?
I'm still working on it. Still got half a day to go. So
there you go.
What's your Pixie Dust?
My Pixie Dust is that aside from the fact that we had a long weekend, Canadian Tire had a sale on. They usually have some pretty good sales on Canadian Tire, and I finally just caved and bought a new vacuum. So it's a cheap vacuum. It's very cheap because I have one of the, what do they call them? The Dyson canister vacuum. Yeah. Like I have the big canister vacuum, but it's heavy. And my house is like very, very small, but very tall. It's tons of stairs. So it really is a chore for me to try and vacuum. So then my place is kind of gross sometimes because I just don't, because I don't want to carry that thing. So I bought this vacuum to have on the top floor.
Oh, smart.
And it's pretty light. Like it doesn't do a great job, but it does good enough. Like meaning if you showed up at my house unannounced, I wouldn't be mortified. About the carpet. Lots of other things I'd be mortified, but not about the carpet. So I picked it up and I actually vacuumed. Yay! And I'll save the Dyson for like once in a blue moon when it needs a good clean.
We'll explain what Canadian Tire is to the non-Canadian listeners on another episode.
How would you even describe Canadian Tire? It's kind of like the Walmart / no, because Walmarts now have food. So Canadian Tire is like, it used to be just automotive, right? Like it really, back in the day, it was like about car stuff. You got tires, Canadian Tire. You got tires and car parts. Windshield wipers, and you could buy all sorts of car stuff.
But now you can buy your Christmas tree, your
kitchen appliances,
your vacuums,
sets of knives. They have
camping gear.
Camping gear. They have all sorts of stuff. Cabinets, desks. You can buy desks. You should check out their sales, because Canadian Tire usually has a very good weekly sale, and they have click and collect. Did you know that about Canadian Tire? So,
no, I don't.
Carrie,
really go
most of these stores now, if you go online, you can shop online, buy it, and say click and collect. You drive into the parking spot, they bring it out, put it in your cart, and you drive away. It's fabulous. You never have to go into a store again. I'm telling you, that's how I got my vacuum. Yeah, that's my pixie dust. There you go. Canadian Tire.
Which we often call Crappy Tire. People call it Crappy Tire just as a nickname.
And
which we don't know why, because it's a beloved place. We love it.
It is, but it's just always been called that. Like, if you're Canadian, you've called it Crappy Tire at some point in your life.
Maybe it was before, when it was what it is now. We were like, but now that it's everything. But it is. We have to make it clear. It is not a Walmart. It is not a department store.
There's no food or anything in it. But
it's still not like a department store. You can't say it's
it's
not
like
a
Home Depot, maybe.
No, you can't. No,
there's Home Depot with cars in it, with car stuff.
You can't. Because Home Depot, you can't buy a vacuum at Home Depot, and you can't buy your Christmas. Well, you can buy your Christmas tree at Home Depot.
Yeah, you can.
But it's different. It's not.
They have
the same
more
as Home
wood
Depot.
stuff. Like, they have more stuff for
building
fixing
supplies.
things around the house. I did
no
try.
Building supplies.
Oh my gosh, Carrie! I did try yesterday to put my. You know how I bought that the Nest thermostat? I finally bought it. I tried yesterday. Electricity in me, man. I don't know. So I shut off all electricity in my house, and we're still recording. Never mind. Okay. So anyway, long story short, did not install it. Turned on the electricity and gave up. I'll hire an electrician. Thank you guys for listening. And remember, we love ratings and reviews. So please, if you get a chance, leave us one on Apple Podcasts if you can. And send us your favorite clips tell us about your favorite clips in a voice note. Let us know.
That's it. We're done.
That's it. We're done. Finally.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Thanks for listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
Make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast player so you'll get a new episode every week. And find us on social media too. We'd love to hear from you.
Till next time, remember, you are never too old to be young. Chase your dreams and design your own happily ever after.